Oh, hi. Sorry, I didn't see you there. I was just mindlessly wasting time moving chairs. Let's get to the Game of Thrones discussion, shall we? Hi there, and I assume you've all watched Game of Thrones Season 8, Episode 6 now. And you might be wondering why I've got footage of Mass Effect in the background. And, well, the reason I've got this footage in the background is because I had the same feeling for Mass Effect 3 that I did for Game of Thrones Season 8, Episode 6. Well, pretty much all of Season 8 after Episode 3 or 4. It was a real disappointment to the end. And it was more of a slog getting through to the finish than it was an enjoyable feat. And once you got to the end, there wasn't really any surprises. Now, yes, they did try and subvert our expectations with the whole Bran being made Bran the Broken, the King of Kings, you know. By the way, Bran the Broken, that's a really bloody harsh name. Shouldn't it be like Bran the All-Seer, or Bran the Far-Seer, or Bran the Past-Seer, or something a little bit less anti... a little bit more stable for a person that's just, you know, disabled and is actually the king of the Six Kingdoms. This basically felt like a fan fiction ending. That's the best way I could put it. People saw the Bells episode, and then they wrote their own fan fiction of how Game of Thrones ends, where Jon, you know, stabs Dany in the heart and kills her pretty much at the start of the episode. And Jon doesn't get, you know, eaten or burnt alive by Drogon. Drogon destroys the Iron Throne to set the wheel free and basically complete Daenerys' work. And Dany, the Mad Queen, you know, she's off to her rocker, and, you know, she's completely insane now, which really they needed to build up to it a lot more. Yes, she did some terrible things. Yes, she did have some vengeance issues, and yes, she was quite brutal with the ending of some of her enemies. But she was always there for the common folk. And her description of, well, they didn't rise up against Cersei, so they deserve to die, was complete and utter bullshit. I don't feel like Daenerys would have actually said that, because she understands the feeling of being powerless and afraid and not having control. Look back to the first season when she got married off to a Dothraki and her brother was there busy berating her and all of this kind of thing. So I don't see where it came from, and they could have done a lot more with it. She could have been unkempt, she could have looked dishevelled, she could have looked like her dad. If she had that sort of style, then maybe we could buy into it. But she didn't really look mad, and what she was saying wasn't really incredibly insane. It was just she kind of just decided to kill everybody, which again is just so unlike her. It's very much a character assassination. It's kind of like with the Night King ending. You know, his character was truly assassinated by Arya, apparently. So, you know, that's good. He jumped out of the shadows from nowhere. I don't know how she did that. The whole Arya plotline has just disappeared. You know, the fact that she went through the training to become an assassin, yeah, we forgot about that. That doesn't matter. Bran becoming a king when he said he could never be a lord. You know, there's all of this stuff that makes no sense. And it just feels like it was very much subverting expectations. Now, the actual look of the episode was rather beautiful, and there were some stunning moments of the actual show. But the actual ending was just nothing. And it didn't feel like any of the choices made through all of those seasons, which we've been watching for, what, like 7-8 years now, felt like they really had no impact. None of the past had any impact. Nothing that we did had an impact. And this is why I bring up Mass Effect 3. Because with Mass Effect 3, we had no impact to the ending. Nothing changed. Nothing was different. Everything was the same. And that really just sort of sums up Game of Thrones for me. It was impact. There was no impact to that ending. Like, what was the point in the whole series, the building up, the whole character arc? I mean, look at Jaime Lannister. His character arc was completely destroyed, and it could have been explained so much more. The show had the option to go for 10 episodes, so they chose to go for 6 instead because they said that's all they need. It wasn't all they needed. They needed so much more. They just didn't put the effort in. And really, it was a true shame. Rest in peace, Game of Thrones. You were a good TV show up until the last moments, much like Mass Effect 3. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Just one more thing, actually, before I go, because I was going to stop there, but there was one little thing that really bugged me, and that was the sewer system of King's Landing, because King's Landing already had a sewer system built into it many years ago. Obviously, it's in the books, not the actual show, but I can't remember the maester that actually did it, but there was a maester long ago that decided, yes, pure water and a sewerage system is a really good idea. So King's Landing did have a sewer system. Flea Bottom stunk because it was towards the end of the sewer system or something like that, if I remember correctly. Anyway, but it really annoyed me. It really bugged me. And there were so many things that annoyed me, but that was one of the big ones. Anyway, catch you next time.